What do YouTube? B Kelly back again with another banger. Today's video, y'all, I will be talking about what happened to the past 10 winners of the Elite 11 competition. I will not be including this year's winners for the 2020 Elite 11 competition. Instead, I'll be talking about from 2010 to 2019. In the 2010 Elite 11 finals, the most notable quarterbacks that came out of this class were Jeff Driscoll, Teddy Bridgewater, Archie Bradley, who is now an MLB pitcher, Everett Golson, Cody Kessler, and J.W. Walsh. The winner of the 2010 Elite 11 finals was Jeff Driscoll, who was the #1 dual-threat quarterback in the nation and a 5-star recruit that was committed to the University of Florida. Jeff Driscoll would start off as a Gator in his college career and be at Florida for 4 seasons, where he really didn't live up to his 5-star expectation, and then after 4 years he would end up grad transferring to Louisiana Tech, where he did ball out. His career stats include 7,437 passing yards, completing about 61% of his passes with 50 touchdowns and 28 interceptions. Jeff Driscoll will be drafted in the 6th round of the 2016 NFL Draft by the San Francisco 49ers, where he'd be a practice squad player for a couple years, and he's still pretty much a practice squad player slash backup NFL quarterback, because there's been times where he's been called up during his NFL career, but he's primarily been on the practice squad or being a 3rd-string quarterback. He's played for 3 different teams in his career where he has actually had some playing time. That's with the Cincinnati Bengals in 2018, Detroit in 2019, and so far in the 2020 NFL season, Denver. In the 2011 Elite 11 finalist class, the most notable players coming out of this class were Jameis Winston and Chad Kelly. For this year, they actually had 3 co-MVPs. The first one was Neil Burkham, that ended up going to SMU and was seen as a very underrated prospect after winning co-MVP, but unfortunately during his SMU career, he would only be able to play in 2 seasons that were injury-riddled, and the injury bug would follow him the rest of his career and he would have to actually step away from football. The next co-MVP is Tanner Magnum, that ended up playing for BYU his entire career. Now, Tanner would end up having some injury issues throughout his career after his first season at BYU, where he was a true freshman starter for BYU. Now, for his college football career, he ended up having 39 touchdowns, 24 interceptions, throwing for 6,262 yards, and completing 60% of his passes. Final co-MVP in the 2011 Elite 11 finalist class was none other than famous Jameis Winston. Now, Jameis Winston would end up going to Florida State, and he won a national championship and even won the Heisman Trophy. In his career at Florida State, he passed for 7,964 yards, completing 66% of his passes, while having 65 passing touchdowns and only 28 interceptions. Jameis Winston, unlike his 2 other co-MVPs in this class, would actually play in the NFL. In fact, Jameis Winston was the first overall pick in the 2015 NFL Draft, taken by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Jameis Winston has started every year of his career since his rookie year until this season, when he signed a deal with the New Orleans Saints, and now he's just a backup quarterback. And even though he was expected to play after Drew Brees, he's still a backup quarterback now to Taysom Hill. So far in his NFL career, he has had a turnover problem every season he's played. So far in his career, he's thrown for 19,812 yards, completing 61% of his passes, throwing for 121 touchdowns and 88 interceptions. In the 2012 Elite 11 class, the most notable quarterbacks in this class are Jared Goff, Joshua Dobbs, Max Brown, Luke Del Rio, Christian Hackenberg, and Malik Zaire. But the winner of this class is Asante Woolard. Woolard was a very highly touted recruit coming out of high school, being ranked as 129th best player in the nation, the #1 dual threat quarterback in the nation, and a 4-star recruit according to the 247 Sports composite. He was a very highly touted recruit and had offers all around the country. He would end up committing to UCLA. Woolard would not be at UCLA very long due to injury issues while he was at UCLA and other issues. He would end up transferring to South Florida, where he yet again had yet another injury issue that ended up affecting his playing time. After that, he would end up transferring to Clarion University, where he was last seen playing football. In the 2013 class, they had quite a bit of notable names in this finalist class, such as Deshaun Watson, Brad Kaya, Will Grier, David Blow, and Kyle Allen. But the guy who beat out all those notable quarterbacks was Sean White, who was committed to Auburn, and coming out of high school, he was a 4-star recruit, the 150th best player in the nation, and the 8th best pro-style quarterback as well. Sean White at Auburn, he only played 2 seasons before being dismissed from the team. He had 2,845 passing yards, completing about 62% of his passes, while throwing for 10 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. In the 2014 Elite 11 class, we had a lot of big and notable names, like Blake Barnett, DeAndre Francois, Drew Lock, Kyler Murray, Josh Rosen, Jarrett Stidham, and Brady White. The winner of the 2014 Elite 11 class was Blake Barnett, who was a 5-star recruit, the 22nd best player in the nation, and the number 2 pro-style quarterback in his class, and he was committed to Alabama. Blake Barnett, despite being a very hyped-up recruit, would not quite live up to expectations. He would transfer out of Alabama, then go to Arizona State, then leave Arizona State and go to a junior college, then end up at South Florida, where he finally started having some real playing time in his first season. But unfortunately, in his last season of college football, he got injured and couldn't really show out for the NFL. And right now, he is not on an NFL team, and he hasn't really gotten a shot yet either, mainly due to the very short training camps due to the current issue in the world right now, the pandemic. But in his college career, he had 3,398 passing yards, 59 of his passes were complete, while throwing for 18 touchdowns and 14 interceptions. In the 2015 class, so far, everyone in this class has been notable in some kind of way. The Elite 11 class for 2015, the members were Dwayne Haskins, Jarrett Garantano, which I'm sorry if I butchered it, Felipe Franks, Jacob Eason, KJ Costello, Shane Buechele, Malik Henry, Brandon McIlwain, Shea Patterson, Brandon Peters, and Anthony Russo. The winner of this class was Shea Patterson. Shea Patterson, coming out of high school, was one of the top recruits in his class. He was a 5-star recruit, the number 1 quarterback in his class, and the number 4 recruit in the nation. He would end up committing to Ole Miss. After a couple seasons at Ole Miss, Shea Patterson would transfer to Michigan, where he's more known for his career at Michigan than he was at Ole Miss. In his college football career, he ended up passing for 8,800 yards, completing 60% of his passes, while throwing for 68 touchdowns and 27 interceptions. Shea Patterson would go undrafted in this past NFL draft, the 2020 NFL draft, and then he would be signed as an undrafted free agent to the Kansas City Chiefs, where he was then released, and he has not been on an NFL team since. In the 2016 Elite 11 finalist class, they had quite a bit of big names in this class, such as Tua Tagovailoa, Chris Robinson, Dylan McCaffrey, Tate Martell, Miles Brennan, Sean Clifford, Tommy DeVito, Sam Ehlinger, and Jake Fromm. Winner of the 2016 Elite 11 class was the number 1 dual-threat quarterback in the nation, top 50 player, and 5-star recruit of Tua Tagovailoa, who was committed to Alabama. Tua had a very good career at Alabama, where he was a Heisman finalist and even a national champion. In the 3 seasons at Alabama that he spent, he had a very good career, having 7,442 passing yards, completing 69% of his passes, while throwing for 87 touchdowns and only 11 interceptions. Tua was drafted with the 5th overall pick in the 2020 NFL Draft by the Miami Dolphins. So far, he's played in 6 games in his rookie season, starting in 5 of them, where he has gone 4-1 as a starting quarterback, completing 63% of his passes, throwing for 898 yards, 7 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. In the 2017 Elite 11 finalist class, so far, the most notable players in this class have been Jarren Williams, Dorian Thompson-Robinson, Tyler Shaw, Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, and Matt Corral. The MVP of this class was 5-star quarterback, the number 2 player in the nation, and the number 1 dual-threat quarterback in the nation in Justin Fields, who was committed to Georgia at the time. Justin Fields would spend 1 season at Georgia before transferring to Ohio State, but so far in his great college football career, he has completed 70% of his passes while throwing for 5,008 yards, 60 touchdowns, and only 6 interceptions, and he also has 19 touchdowns on the ground for rushing as well. And also, he's not done with his college football career yet either. He's more than likely in his final season of college football, because going into the 2021 NFL Draft, he is projected as a top 3 pick currently. In the 2018 Elite 11 finalist class, the most notable players so far, and all these guys are still in college, have been Talua Tagovailoa, Spencer Rattler, Bo Nix, Sam Howell, Ryan Helinski, Max Duggan, and Jaden Daniels. Winner of the 2018 Elite 11 class was Spencer Rattler, who was a 5-star recruit, the #1 pro-style quarterback, and the 11th best player in the nation, who was committed to the University of Oklahoma. Spencer Rattler's first season at OU, he would end up redshirting because he was behind Heisman finalist quarterback Jalen Hurts. So far in the 2020 college football season, he's been the starting quarterback the full season, and he's been pretty good. 7-2 so far as the recording of this video as a starting quarterback, and has even clinched a spot in the Big 12 title game where he will face off against Iowa State, the 6th straight time that OU will be at the Big 12 championship so far. And so far in his college football career, he has passed for 2,593 yards, completed 68% of his passes, and has thrown for 25 total touchdowns and 7 interceptions. The 2019 Elite 11 finalists really haven't had a lot of notable players yet because they're all currently freshmen. A lot of them are backup quarterbacks, but the MVP of this year is current Ohio State backup quarterback CJ Stroud. Well guys, if you guys like the video, remember to smash that like button, turn on them post notifications, and subscribe for more videos. B. Kelly out.